You're listening to the Midwest Motorsports Cool Down Lap, the only podcast covering all three series in the league. Join your host, Anthony Castor, alongside Midwest Motorsports CEO, Justin Thaler, and James Johnson, the voice of Midwest Motorsports. Buckle up, because the Cool Down Lap starts now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Cool Down Lap, presented by Midwest Motorsports. Today is the 21st of July. You're joined here today with myself, James Johnson, and we have a special guest with us, Rick Bundren. Welcome to the podcast, Rick. How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Glad you can make it here. It was kind of last minute getting you on the show. JT had to dip out today. It's the wife's birthday, so if you guys see JT prowling around the Discord, tell him to get back to dinner with his wife. James, man, how'd your weekend go for you?
Hey man, it was a great weekend. Still hot Atlanta, it's record heat, but yeah, otherwise everything's great.
Good. You had a lot of action to call over the last week with the road series. I think they were out at Hockenheim, right?
That's correct. A new
Okay.
track for us. Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to cover that tonight. And Oval Series had their long races. So Truck Series, I guess, didn't see much action from what I'm hearing. Cup Series seen a little bit of action, but we'll recap all that a little bit later in the episode.
Yeah, we had about over 6 hours of broadcast time this in three races. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. When I seen that we were at the 3-hour mark last night, I was thinking, man, those guys had to have some water in that booth.
Yeah, thankfully we had some help. Michael Harris Jr. rocked it, and Lee Winters got, as crew chief told him, his car was in too many pieces and they didn't have any spare parts left. So he joined us for the last probably 30 or 40 laps.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he went up into the booth till he said something in Discord. So good on you, Lee, for hopping in there. And I'm sure you were sharing some of the experience you had on the track and such. But we'll recap all that later on in the show. But without much further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into our guest segment tonight with Rick, of course. So again, Rick, glad to have you on, man. How long have you been with our league now?
This is my 4th season.
Okay. Strictly road series, or have you ventured out in oval at all?
Only road so far. I've been heavily debating truck, but I haven't done it yet.
Man, everybody's debating on hopping into the trucks. I think Jason kind of started a revolution there in a way.
Absolutely.
So have you always driven the Porsche when it comes to the road series side? Is that like a preferred car for you?
No, the first 2 seasons I raced, I was driving the Austin. And then in season 8, I decided to switch over to the Porsche.
Okay. And I guess how did you get into sim racing? Is it something that started around COVID, or is this something you were doing way before then?
Well, so like I've played racing games my whole life, and I've had some sort of wheel and pedals since, I don't know, the late 90s. And then maybe around, I think it was 21, me and my buddy Justin Shupp, who's also in the league, we decided we wanted to upgrade our equipment and get some load cell pedals. And at the time we picked up ACC, and we did ACC for about a year, and then got into iRacing, and we did iRacing for about a year, and then found the league.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say Shupp sounded like a familiar name.
Yep.
Okay. So as you guys were delving into the league and stuff, has everything been good for you so far? Are you enjoying the GT3, GT4 aspect of things?
Yeah, I've enjoyed the league overall quite a bit, and I really like this this multi-class aspect we've got going on. And one of the great things about the league is, as you fellows know, is it's awesome for beginners. I hadn't done any long races like this before the league. I'd never done any multi-class racing, so while at times it's trial by fire, if you make a mistake, you don't have anybody really, screaming at you, super mad. Everybody's willing to help make you learn, and so it's been really good for me.
Good. Yeah, and that's I find it every time I run in any of our leagues, it's any of our league series, it's nice to go out there and run with people that aren't going to just verbally berate you whenever you have an issue on the track. I mean, you might get, yeah, every now and again you might get with somebody that has a little bit of a temper, or say something small, but it
Yeah,
isn't something
there's
that goes over the line.
little flare-ups here and there, but I don't feel like there's a lot of grudges or anything, and you don't have to be afraid to make a mistake.
Exactly. And the road series, I talk about it every week. The road series is probably one of the friendliest series that we have in terms of the guys out to help each other. Like everybody is trying to give each other advice on lines. Like you guys have your own coaching channel with different tutorial videos and stuff. So it's a pretty welcoming area over there in the road series.
Absolutely, and even before we had that like official, there was quite a few members that I've talked to at various points, and they were helping me with stuff offline, or I feel like there's so many people you can just reach out to, and they'll at least get you pointed to somebody or something that can help you. And I think that's an incredible benefit we have in this league.
For sure. James, I'm going to hand it to you for here for a minute, man. Go ahead and hop in here with some questions.
Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure calling you guys. I know we don't always get to show the GT4 battles as the races go on. We know we try to catch them, especially with 40 car fields. It's kind of hard to catch all the action all the time. But every time we seem to cut to you guys, you're often in the mix. Of course, Hockenheim is the most fresh on my mind, and you ended up finishing fourth in that race with having some great battle. Any other close battles you remember racing in the league? You said you've been here 4 seasons. Across the 4 seasons?
Yeah, so when I started, I was really pretty slow. So that first maybe season and a half, I didn't really race too many people. I just kind of got my positions by others' misfortunes. So I had a lot of race where it was nobody. But I feel like second half of last season and really in this season, I've certainly had some good battles, and it seems like it's starting to be some of the same usual suspects like Troy Nissen, Cody Height. I've been in a bunch with Justin Shope, as I said earlier, David Wortman here and there. Like you said at the race last week, it was Cody and David and myself for a very long chunk of that race in the beginning, and then after we kind of cycled through pits, we all found each other again. So that was really good. The previous week, I think we had a 5 or 6 car train for like most of the race.
Yeah.
So we're just all staying with each other. Somebody will get around each other, get around one of us, and then a couple laps later, get back around. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been having so much fun, and some of those times I don't even care where I'm finishing. I'm just enjoying the racing.
Yeah, it's like I say, like you said, there's always battles. There's always somebody to race with that's close to your level. So it's fun to see everybody having fun. Any bad beats stick out in your brain? I mean, I'm not singling anybody out, but something where you really thought you could have finished better.
Uh So I've the podiums have been elusive for me. I finished fourth like 4 or 5 times across the season, so I've been really trying to push for getting a podium, and I just can't seem to close that down. I've been kind of close a couple times this season, but like when we were at Bathurst, maybe I was in front of both Troy and Moffitt, and they both ended up getting around me pretty late in that race. And then I had a really good battle with Moffitt the last half, like down the mountain into the finish line, and just couldn't hold on to it. But I felt like I learned some things, so that's always a positive. But most of the time, like I don't feel like there's been a lot of, oh man, I really missed out there. Just small little things here and there, you know.
Sure. And there's still 2 more races in the season, so, don't rule out that podium yet. You're definitely knocking on the door.
We'll
Um,
see. We got a lot of fast guys in AM, and sometimes it's challenging to keep up with them.
yeah, honestly, I'd say that the AM thing is deceiving. It's just a separation of classes. You guys are racing just as hard and just as well as some of the pros too, or all the pros too. So it's like I say, don't let the AM part fool you. Um,
Oh yeah.
when you're not racing in the league, what do you do to kind of keep your racing skills sharp? Do you do officials? Do you just focus on practice for the next league race? You do other leagues?
Yeah, so maybe after about, I don't know, the first half of the first season I joined, I kind of stopped officials. Because for that while, like I said before, I was kind of off pace. So I was putting a lot of time in trying to just get better and kind of catch up with some of the folks in the league. And so right now, I'm not doing any officials outside of every once in a while. I'll do a 3 hour team race with Justin. We do the GT Endurance Series. Um, but I kind of want to get back to officials. I feel like I've swung too far the other way. I want to do a little more racing than I'm doing now. But, I'll do some practice sessions of my own. Jason Phillips always hosts one on Monday night. There's usually another session or two over the weekend or later on Monday. So I always try and hit those because I like to see what the other guys are doing and see if there's any tips that they can throw my way. Tonight I was in Jason's session and James popped in and I screen shared and he gave me pointers on a couple corners, and so I got something to work on after this interview.
Did it help yet, or?
Well, I mean, that corner that we were working on already feels better. I've just only done it, a handful of times. That's why I want to get back in tonight and see if I can really hammer it.
Some muscle memory going, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's cool. Have you always been a racing fan, or how did you get into racing in general? Just from playing the different
Well,
console games?
I've always loved cars. Growing up, my dad was a big NASCAR fan, so I was too. We went to a bunch of races in the 90s and early 2000s. And then, I don't know, mid 2000s, I kind of just fell away from NASCAR. But um, I watch IMSA, watch WEC, watch F1, sometimes IndyCar. I like cars and racing.
Where is home? What part of the world is home
uh,
for you?
I live in Toledo, Ohio.
Okay, lucky
Oh,
you.
hey, fellow Ohioan.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. What's the closest track to you guys? Mid-Ohio?
Mid Ohio's not too far. I've gone there a couple times. Um, but there's a Toledo Speedway where ARCA's ran in the past, and that's super close. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's some other smaller tracks, but I haven't really been to those. Indy's about 4 hours away. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's a good chunk of the IMSA schedule that I could really drive in under 10 hours.
And you were telling us before we went on air about the photo of you on our screenshot up here that we got. What's up with
Yeah.
that? Was that at a race?
Yeah, so in 23, Justin and I and another of our friends went to Super Sebring. Uh, and, we did the 4 days of racing or whatever it was. And the one day we all kind of wanted to dress up as Florida Man. So this is my Florida Man outfit with my Praise Hell or Praisedale Raise Hell t-shirt there. And so I don't know, I just put it on my screenshots when I have my races. I just thought it was a funny picture.
Yeah, it's awesome. Looks like you're having fun.
Oh yeah, that was a great trip.
Sebring is
So,
great. I've been kind of hard to see over the fencing and over the pink flamingos. There's pink flamingos everywhere.
Yeah, so we ended up doing one of the suite options. So we were
Smart.
above the pits, and then we also had a golf cart and just drove everywhere over those 4 days. So it was a lot of fun.
Anytime you come to Petit Le Mans, man, I got a place for you.
It's on the list. I
That's
will take you up on that.
all right. Open door policy.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Back to you,
So,
Ant.
yeah, thanks. So earlier we were talking about your car choice right now at the Porsche, and you said you drove the Aston. But looking at our polls, it looks like we're kind of going away from the GT3, GT4 setup, and we're moving on to something different. With the P Cup, and I believe the other one was the. You're gonna have to help me out with this one. Radical
Yeah, the SR10, I think.
SR10. So those are two, in my opinion, and you race road more than me, but those are two drastically different cars, right? One's really downforce reliant in the Radical, and the Porsche P Cup's basically a production car, correct? Or am I looking at that incorrectly?
Like the P Cup is a lot more similar to the GT3 Porsche, but it doesn't have like ABS, and there's a couple other small differences. So I mean, it's kind of it's not a road car. They make it specifically for racing, but it's a lot harder to manage than the regular GT3 cars.
Okay. When it comes to the style of car, is there a preference you have? Do you prefer a higher downforce vehicle like an LMP, the Radical, or do you prefer something more car-like, such as your Porsche P Cup, the Porsche you drive now, or the Aston that you were driving before?
Um, like I'll drive a lot of stuff. I like the GT4s a lot. Um, and I've also just on my own time dabbled with like the F4 and the Super Formula Lights. I think those are a lot of fun to drive. I really haven't driven anything like the LMP2 or anything like that kind of car yet. When I kind of joined iRacing, I thought I wanted to be a GT3 driver, and they're fun, but it's just so competitive over there. I want to work on other things before I really dedicate some time on that. Um, I like the GT4s personally from a I don't think the racing's as close as the GR86s, but I think they're more fun to drive. So that's kind of how I like to balance it. But I'm not hating the choice of like the GR86 kind of option that we have in the league going.
Yeah, the GR86, when I think of that, I kind of think of when the league was this might have been before you started, but we had TCR, I think, for a season or two.
Yeah, that was before me, and I've driven some TCR. Those are weird since they're
Oh
front wheel
yeah.
drive.
Oh, I could not get the front end to turn on that thing.
Yeah.
But the GR86 kind of puts me in mind of that kind of racing where it's going to be all tight. You can door bang just a little,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. I kind
I
of feel
think,
like that car is like a momentum car.
uh-huh.
Because it just doesn't have the same kind of punch as the GT4, but you can certainly door bang, and the racing can be really good.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be groove racing. Like you're going to get in a groove, and anything you do to get out of that groove is probably going to break your momentum.
Yeah.
Um So, out of all the tracks you've raced so far this season, I mean, we got two left here with, I believe it's Silverstone, and of course, we're going to Nürburgring tomorrow. Do you have a favorite track that you've been on?
Well, the first half of the season, the American leg, where I have quite a few favorites on there. Road America, I love. Watkins, I love. Big fan of Sebring, even though I normally kind of hate flat tracks, but that track's just different with all the bumps and everything.
Uh huh.
Those are all great. Um, this is my first time. Tomorrow will be the first time I'm driving this Nürburgring track, and I am loving it. It's a great track. So I've got some high hopes that the racing's going to be good tomorrow.
Normally, I know I've raced that layout of Nürburgring twice in our road series, and normally it puts on a really good show. And the track, again, groove track, like you gotta get into a groove with it. But once you start hitting those lines, it's a very rewarding track.
Yeah. And there was a track last season that I'd never been to, Mobility Resort Motegi,
Oh,
or however you pronounce
Motegi,
it.
yeah.
I thought that was a really great track too. I really like that.
Yeah, I think we started. Did we start
Yeah.
the season with Motegi? Yeah.
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 And I don't know if it was just like it feels good in the Porsche or it feels good in everything, but I reacted really well on that track.
Yeah, I remember. I think I practiced that one for last season, and it was actually a really fun track. Well, we'll see what kind of track choices we get with this new setup for next
Yeah.
season.
So that's one kind of thing too that I feel the league's been good for me on is when I would run officials, I was kind of hesitant to run some tracks that I hadn't ran before. And I've certainly been exposed to a lot more tracks in the 4 seasons I've been racing here. So that's always good.
For sure, and especially if there's a official track running something that you've ran in the league, it kind of gives you that confidence to go in there and know, like, yeah, I can do pretty well here because I know the track and the layout and know my lines.
Right.
Oh, good man. Well, normally I'd have Justin asking this, but Justin isn't here tonight, so I'll go ahead and ask the question that we ask all of our guests. Being in the league and being a member, if you were handed the keys, we'll say to the entire league. So this isn't just over the road series, but your answer can involve just road series, but over the entire league. What would you do differently? Like, is there something you would add, like a different series? Is there something you would change rule wise in the road series? Or, I guess if you ran this league for a day, what would you change?
Just from like a pure selfish standpoint, I wish we raced more. And you could take that in a couple different ways. Either, it was multiple races a week, or maybe you swap out the endurance race and it's like 2 50-minute races or something like that. Because like the endurances are interesting and there can be a little bit of gamemanship in those to try and get a win, but a lot of times I feel like people wreck out and don't stay in, or you kind of get strung out. It'd be nice if you had like a reset and then start your racing again and get those battles back. So I don't know. That's just what I've always thought. I understand there'd be a lot of complications with that, or people wouldn't necessarily want to do it, but that's my thing. Without running a lot of officials right now, I just like to race more.
Oh, for sure. When it comes to like that response, is something like heat race. I believe one season we did heat racing where we'd run like I think a 20-minute session, and then the results of that session were flipped. Like, say you finished first, you'd start from the back
Yeah,
and then race
reverse
that way.
order.
Was that like also like an option that you would consider, like instead of doing two separate races, just doing two segment races like heats?
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be really fun too, especially if, you're doing that as like every fourth race or something. I wouldn't want to do that every week, but it's kind of nice having the little bit of variety.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you. Especially whenever I have time to race, like after I get out of, except for last night, which we'll get into that later. But after you get out of the rig, it's like, man, I could always like do another race, but then I have to wait another week because personally, I don't like doing officials. I don't like getting in there and um, having somebody wreck me or think that I caused an accident or something. Like personally, I like racing around people I know all the time because typically there's no fault being assessed or anything because you know how everybody drives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just once I got in the league race and I had to get out of officials. So, um, second part of that question, give us James and I give us one thing that currently you don't like about the road series. This one's just strictly the road series, and you've
Mm.
already used the you don't race enough.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you don't have anything, you don't have anything. But
Yeah, let me think.
yeah, no problem, buddy. There's a lot that goes on in that league, so there's a good bit to think about.
Do, do, do,
Yeah,
do.
I don't know. I mean, right
There's
now,
no
there's
wrong
not
answer.
really a lot that I'm unhappy with. Like there's been quite a few small tweaks along the way since I've been here, and I think all those are net positive. And
You know, I was just about to say before James did the Jeopardy music. That's a good thing. The long silence there is a really good thing, because if you were instantly, like, right off the rip, something's bothering you. But the fact that, nothing came instantly to mind, that's a good thing. I mean, JT prides himself in getting the Road Series participants as happy as he can,
Yeah.
as everybody who runs a league should. But that's
And
good.
so I'll just throw this out, like personally, one thing I would like to see different is more on the member side. And you mentioned this before. I think the roadside, there's a bunch of awesome dudes in there. I think our chat's hilarious. It's very, uh, people are chatting in there quite often. But I would just like to see a little more participation in either some of the hosted sessions, or even just people run their own and being able to see the times in Garage 61, because I just like to know where people are at. It gives me a little extra motivation, you know.
No, of course. Yeah, I mean, what was it last week at Hockenheim? What you guys had? What was it? 24 participants altogether?
Yeah, I'll
No,
tell you in a
it
second.
was 40. It was like 20
No,
each plus
24. We had 12 on each
12,
side.
12 each. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
we started the season. First three races were in the 40s.
yeah, I think you're getting to the point of the season where, I mean, it could be the track, or it could be people just realizing, like, okay, time to start throwing in practice for next season.
Yeah, the last three races have been small, and I was looking before, like we've kind of had this happen previously, where it's funny because like people stop coming, but it's not like most of them are in the battle for the championship anyway, so I don't know why they care. But then
Mm.
season 8 was our shortest season that I've been here, and we had good numbers like almost the whole season.
Mm. Wonder if it's the shorter season that's helping out with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're only 2 races longer this time. Maybe it's the tracks. I don't know. I mean, some of it, I think the GT3 choice has kind of been grinding on some people, but I don't know what's happening on the M side.
Yeah. James, you got anything else for Rick here?
Well, I just wanted to say you wouldn't really notice it with all the action that's on track, because the racing I don't think has suffered. Maybe the traffic. I was just going to ask, about the mixed class. You said this was one of the first things, first times you've raced with mixed class. What's that learning curve been like? And um, any clues or tips for anybody might just be starting with you? What
Yeah,
you've
so
learned?
the first 2 seasons I was with the league, everyone was in GT4, and I found that very challenging when the pros would come around, to safely let them pass. While they were faster, it wasn't enough of a delta to always make it a quick pass, right? Or do it anywhere. When we got to season 8 and multiclass, it was a lot easier to manage them coming by. And the first thing people always say is GT4s run your line, and it's on the onus is the GT3s to get past you. And that's all great, until there's two GT3s battling and they split you in the middle of a corner, or whatever. So that's interesting. For me, what continues to catch me by surprise as we go to new tracks is just in some corners, like you'll look and see a GT3 coming, and you're like, okay, I got time to make this corner, and you don't. They've closed faster than you expect. So that's really hard to judge. Um, and I've been trying to learn this season how to battle my battles and still allow that traffic to come through without compromising everybody. And that's been quite a learning experience. Most of it's been a baptism by fire. But like I said before, with it being people I know, I have a little more confidence to attempt to just do what I'm doing, and knowing that people aren't going to think I'm ruining their day.
Well, I was looking at the points. That's a great response. Um, yeah, and you're currently sixth in points. Only, I mean, Ron Cabiltas and Troy Nissan right above you are tied, only 40 points ahead of you. So, and then James Zangi only another 30 4 points ahead of them with double points race coming up. That podium might be the overall championship that you're looking for.
We'll see. It's tough. This top 10, I'm don't get me wrong, I'm super happy where I currently am in points, but some of it's just more from other folks not racing as much. But I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, Troy, I've been battling most of the season. Cody Heights a couple down from me. Been battling him a bunch. It's been tough. Like this top 10, we're all qualifying roughly the same spots every week. It's the people that are in that train. So you can't make a mistake because they're going to capitalize.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's been great fun talking to you tonight. And if you see your buddy Justin Shoup, or send him a text, tell him we'd love to see him in the next couple of races. I think I didn't see him last race. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's had some work obligations. He should be here for Silverstone.
All good. Well, again, been a lot of fun having you in the league, first of all. So thanks
thank
for
you.
doing your part and keeping everybody positive. You're racing clean, you're racing, um, you know, right up there with them. So, like I say, we're really happy to have you in the league. Appreciate you keeping it positive, and yeah, we look forward to seeing more of you. Maybe talking to you at the end of a race one of these times.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
Rick.
Rick Mundren.
All right. Thank you.
Go ahead, Ant.
Well, again, well, I thank Rick for coming on and joining us here. It was a enlightening conversation. Again, I love having league members on, getting to know a little bit more about them, kind of what brought them to our league and what they enjoy to do. So, uh, anybody listening, if you guys anybody'd like to take part in our podcast, reach out to James or myself. We'd be more than happy to have you guys on or schedule to get you on. And again, if anybody has or has not done it yet, make sure you like, share, and subscribe the Midwest Motorsports Sports YouTube page. That way we can get some more people, more eyes on it, get some more league members. So, uh, again, big thanks to Rick for coming out and opening up to the league. So we'll go ahead, James. We're going to move on to the road series here, man. You got a little bit of coverage we do on the Hockenheim Ring. I got to watch a little bit of the race. It looked like pretty clean for the most part. A lot of self spins and some curbage. I heard the Justin Thaler "You Can Never Have Enough Sausage" clip make it out there. So was that corner as bad as what it was made out to be?
More than once, I think. No, it's just right at that fine line of carrying speed and going over the curbing to it taking you out. So
Yeah.
there's really
Real quick, was I correct in Michael Odell taking the GT3 pole?
yes, you were started
And it
first.
was James Zangi on the GT4, if I looked at that right.
Yep, that's right. Which is uh, not a surprise. Zengi's been fast for a while. He came prepared, showed up. Zach Alexander only missed it by I think it was like less than a tenth of a second. So it
Oh
was
wow.
really close. And then yeah, it was great, great racing in the AMs and in the pros. What else? What else did you see? I mean, I'm not sure
Oh man.
where you want to
No,
start.
no. We'll kind of talk through it, man. The start of that race, there really wasn't too much action off the start of it from what I've seen. I think about Michael Odell kind of looked like he assumed control off the start, and then I believe he ended up clipping that sausage curb and giving Justin Flagg a chance to apply a little bit more pressure on what he was.
You know,
I seen Justin Flagg poking that nose in there a few times, like trying to get by Mike Odell, and Odell was able to kind of regather his composure and get back in the lead. That looked like a pretty good fight for the few minutes it was happening.
Justin Justin Flagg may have been faster than Michael in certain places. And you're right, it was a sausage curve that Michael hit. But again, that's that right at that risk reward. And Justin had to be on his six in order to just even to be there to take advantage of it. So, and don't forget Jack Lucas had a great race too, man. He was qualified high and was up there with him the whole time too. So, unfortunately, Justin Flagg had some uh, PC issues. It wasn't his sim gear. It was not his internet. Just the PC itself. He had to run a debugger um, to get his troubles sorted out, or we might have seen Michael Odell under some more pressure. Um, but the race isn't always just for first and second. There were so many close races out there. Christopher Rowe and Jesse Coffey and Justin Thaler, the two dark horse Mustangs, were linked up nose to tail for a few laps as well. So again, amazing racing up front with 12 and 12. I think they were able to stay as closer to a GT3, GT4 group than getting spread out across maybe say a bigger track, or the GT3 field coming through the GT4s, kind of creating space as they come through the field, kind of thing. So the GT4 race stuck together for, I would say, the whole 60 seconds, to be honest. Even as the GT3s were coming through, GT4s were able to still stay linked up, not lose too much time as they worked their way, avoiding the GT3s coming through. So um, I thought the racing was nonstop. On a track, I might add, the Hockenheim ring, not everybody, knows to be their favorite track. It's got a really tricky layout. Um, and if you don't know the track, to learn it on the fly or in a couple of days really showed your skills on the ability to be able to adapt to a circuit that you're not as familiar with, that you could probably turn laps with your eyes closed. So it was real exciting to see everybody learn the track almost as they go.
Yeah, for sure. Um, it kind of looked like it was the Zach Alexander show in a way. Once he dispatched James Zangy in the race, it kind of looked like Zach just took command of that GT4 group and just let him around the track. I mean, that's something we've seen time and time again out of Zach Alexander. He I tell you, he gets in that lead. He's a hard one to wrestle it from. Normally, it's him making a mistake that'll relinquish that lead. But otherwise, I haven't seen anybody in the GT4 group that can go up and just pass him. Um, but I mean, you've probably seen it doing the broadcast, or you can agree with me there on that. He's just a fast dude when it comes to that GT4 class.
He's really fast. He does his homework. And so starting up front really helps getting a good starting qualifying position. He's mentioned that in the post race interview, that starting up front definitely helped him. So then you're not looking in your rear view as much. You're just cranking out laps. You can do 2 or 3 fast laps, and the guys behind you are going to be chasing the rest of the race. And then it's just about being consistent. We have seen Zach as his own worst enemy as well. So again, you don't take the hats to victory lane until the checkered flag is in the air. Um, but on that GT4 front, from David Wortman, Cody Height, Rick Bundren, um, Nick Aslin was there, um, and Troy Nissen. I mean, the whole race, they were nose to tail. Um, Adam was doing a great job running the cameras, allowing us to really see all these really close, tight battles. And the cleanliness of the racing was what really um, took me back a little bit, just to know that they could have been a couple of dive bombs, but nobody wants to ruin anybody else's race or risk losing their own race. So the racing really was super clean and super fast, and it provided some really great overtaking opportunities. And then, uh, one small mistake, and you kind of let the other guy go, then catch him the next corner. Then you make a mistake, and you got to blend in carefully. So, shout out to all these road guys keeping it clean.
For sure. Um, Aside from that, again, I mean, it looked like a really clean race for the most part. There were a few self spins. Um, I mean, if I remember correctly, I thought I seen Taylor Montague self spin. I thought I saw Wortman get collected in a spin too. Uh, I mean, overall though, a clean race. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary with our Road Series drivers.
No, and not a lot of strategy either. Everybody's tried to play some strategy, but it didn't really play out um, to an advantage one way or the other. Where you went in is where you came out. I think Justin Thaler lost a spot um, in the pits and was able to get it back. Um, I think he did an undercut, and I think it was Chris Rowe that did an overcut, went a couple laps longer. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
just not
it's
enough to say.
interesting it's interesting to see that over and undercut how it works out in the broadcast when you guys catch that it's happening. Um, I always feel like the undercut is the way to go until I mean I've always thought that, but to see an overcut done, hats off that you can pull that off.
Yes, and again with mixed class, it's a little bit different too because that could throw in if you get hung up behind a slower car on your out lap or while that guy's in the pits, your competition's in the pits, and you're supposed to be cranking out the fast laps of your life, and you end up coming in with a GT4 again, and you don't want to ruin their race either. So, um, you might lose half a second. And that could be the difference that lets somebody else out in front of you. So,
There was
or like
one, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, or like Justin Flagg, your PC could crash on you, and you have to join us in the booth, which you did. So shout out to Justin Flagg. Thanks again. And then I think his PC crashed again when he was in the broadcast with us. So it's all good.
Um, so I had a question for our co-host, but he isn't here. I'm sure you asked him though in the post race because you usually pop in and talk with the admins after the fact.
Yep.
Did Justin get a self spin?
Oh,
I thought I caught it like with about 10 or so minutes to go in the broadcast. It kind of looked like Justin ended up off the track, and you guys just happened to catch the tail end of it with the broadcast camera of him pulling back up on the track, and then I think you got the replay of him just spinning. But yeah, I was hoping you had a little bit more information on if that was just a self spin or if he did in fact uh, get coerced into doing that.
well, he finished fourth. I know it was Jesse Coffey and another dark horse that went around, but that was earlier in the race. Wasn't towards
Hmm.
the end. Um, I don't think. I know Justin was trying hard. I'm pretty sure he had a big enough gap. The fifth,
Yeah, he was probably
and
pushing it a bit too much, if I had to
yeah,
guess.
because that was for the final step of the podium. Fourth place. Which we'll come back to this. Remember where Justin finished tonight in the road series was P4 after being hot on the tail for P3 all night long. So I think he finally went for a long, deep send and spun himself trying too hard.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I've been there. I've done it. I feel like, especially with the nighttime kicking in, it was I think right around the 2 minute 30 second to go mark. Um, Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, track cools down, track changes, tires change, and you head down into a corner where you've been riding it the same way all night, all night, all night, and then out of nowhere, uh, there's the back end of the car coming around to greet the front. So yeah, it could have just been it could have just been him over driving it, but
Well, let's not kick a man when he's down. Yeah, you're right. There he is. He's smart. When he's not here to defend himself, also,
yeah,
that's
uh,
not fair.
yeah,
Wait
I'll
till
just
we
blame
talk
him.
about you. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't hold it against you for talking about me. But yeah, I
no,
mean
JT
overall
drove a
though,
great race.
yeah,
JT drove his heart out, man.
sure did. And he still pulled off fourth place finish with that, well, yeah, with that self spin, fourth or fifth place finish. So good for him. Good for him.
It's great
Uh,
racing. Again, in an
yep,
unfamiliar track. So
for sure. Um, but we've seen Zach Alexander come out with the win in the GT4 side.
that's right. Zach Alexander. And then the race to the finish for the GT4s was incredible with well for third, fourth, and fifth and sixth, I think. Um, Cody Height, David Wortman, Rick Bundren. David Wortman in the 711 Aston actually ran out of gas coming to the line. He timed it just right. And Cody Height was right on his tail. And I think they crossed the line. And as they crossed the line, um, Cody kind of bumped him. So, but Wortman got across the line. And I don't know if I think that might have pushed Cody over the incident limit. And that's why Cody got relegated after the fact, too. So, yeah, Cody
Oh,
went from like fourth to sixth, unfortunately. Um,
oh, they were just trying to make more room for the Porsches there, as you notice. Most of the top five there
yeah,
was Porsches.
there it is right there. Yep. Out of gas for
Oh,
David Wortman.
that's a rough one.
But it was
That
fun.
should, yeah, that should have moved what Rick Bundren up into the podium position then.
No, I think David Wortman got third, and then Rick fourth, Troy
Okay,
Neeson fifth, and Cody Height sixth.
well, good deal.
And
Yeah,
Ron
good
Cavillas
deal.
was in that fight for P7. That's how they finished. It was a good deal. And Michael Odell went flag to flag. Jack Lucas brought it home second, 8 seconds back. And Christopher Rowe beat Justin Taylor um, and Jason Phillips. Jason Wahlberg, yeah. So JT ended up with a P6.
Ah,
Great racing.
yeah. So just a couple people in the chat there with Rick Bundren, of course, our guest from earlier, said don't discredit Nick Aslan. He can give Zach fits. So
There you go.
Nick Aslan also says that he can't run on a road course. So we'll see which one that one is. Jason
Oh,
Phillips popped in the chat too.
I like, yeah, Jason gives credit to Justin Taylor for not being able to keep up with him. And I really like Jack Lucas' comment. He was happy to see Odell for at least 2 laps at the beginning before he left, dusted everybody. Um,
Yeah.
Michael Odell is on a different level. Um, he just works hard. He knows his stuff and he drives it consistent, smooth, and doesn't make many mistakes.
For
That's what
sure,
you have to
man.
do. If you're going to beat him, you got to do the same.
For sure. Yep. Um, so you guys seen Zach Alexander up on the screen there? He was the winner of GT4, of course. And I've got Mike Odell up there now, the picture of his car winning there at Hockenheim Ring. So congrats to the two winners there. Good job. And we'll go ahead and throw up the points for the AM series so y'all can see that. Because we have 2 races left. The Nürburgring GP race tomorrow. Coverage for that starts 7:25, 7:30.
Session opens at 7. Will be green 7:25 ish.
Okay. Zach Alexander there has the lead. Nick Moffitt, 677 points back in second. James Sangy, 711 points back in third. Ron Kabiltas, 766 back in fourth. And Troy Nissen is going to round out the top five, 821 points back. We'll go ahead and pop up the pro points here. You got Mike Odell leading over there. He's leading Jason Phillips by 474 points. Justin Thaler there in third place, 540 points back. Justin Flagg, who had the hardware issue, 593 points back from the league. And Jason Wahlberg, 649 points back. That's the top five there for the Pro Series. Good job, guys. Again, 2 more races to go in this season. We'll see how everything goes out the Nürburgring GP, and you guys are wrapping up in Silverstone before we start prepping for, is it season 10, I believe?
That's right.
So-
And remember that Silverstone's a double points race as an endurance. So you can really make up some points in the final
Oh,
race
wow.
of the season.
Yeah, I didn't even put the two together right there. Yeah. So any people in a close second place battle, or if you have a battle close by in your points position, just bear in mind, double points race. You can make some good points out at Silverstone. And while we're on the topic of the road series, we touched on it just a little bit with Rick Bundren. Okay. Rick says we don't do double points anymore.
Oh my God.
Bad.
Made a
Bad.
liar out of it. Once again.
So as we talked about with the road series, I'm not leaking the cars for next season. You guys have
Come
a
on,
poll
Andy.
out. Nope. I already talked about the coaches channel prior to it being dropped. I've learned my lesson. You guys already have a poll out to decide the cars for next season. So if you guys have not already participated in the poll, go ahead, head on over to the, I believe it's in the Road Series channel. You guys can find the poll in there. Please fill it out. There's some pretty interesting choices in there. Personally, I'd love to see the AM drivers running around the GR86s, but I don't run them every week. So you guys are in there. You guys run the races. You guys make the decision. So make sure you guys go and vote. Pick what car you like best, or what car you want to try, and the schedule should follow. So again, get out and vote.
The M2 race was pretty awesome. We had a fun run. I think everybody really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the M2. I think Justin was running it religiously when it first dropped, and he said it was a pretty fun car to run. So, James, is there any car you're pulling for in particular?
Oh no. I know that whatever we pull, whatever these guys decide to race, it's going to be some good racing, and that's what I'm here for.
Good answer. I like that one. I'm
That's
gonna
the
steal
truth,
that
man.
one.
I love it. I love it. I love this league, man. Awesome.
All right, man. So we're getting into the long part of the
Oh, yeah.
of the podcast, and it's not because it's oval, but because of the races that occurred. So over the weekend, we had our 2 patriotic oval races, which I don't know how long the trucks were, but Cup ran every bit of 3 hours. So, James, man, I've only heard about the truck series. I didn't get to watch it, but I heard it was green flag racing from start to finish. Can you back that up?
2 hours and 14 minutes, nonstop, green flag runs the whole way. It was awesome. Um, strategy played out huge. If you don't know anything about the trucks, they are a handful at the best of times. Charlotte at night with, I think we gave them 1 extra set of tires, but they still only had, I think, 3 sets with 1 that they start with. So you really had to pay attention and decide if you wanted to skip stints, double stint early, and then double stint all the way through, or triple stint early and save a set for the last couple of runs. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to all the truckers for the red, white, and blue paints. There were so many, um, not necessarily veteran related, which is what we've done in the past, but more just being patriotic, red, white, and blue. And just about everybody came to play with some sort of military or respect to the red, white, and blue. So it makes the the Charlotte weekend, patriotic weekend in real life as well as in the trucks. And yes, I don't know when the last time the trucks went flag to flag without a caution, and not to mention for the longest race,
Uh-huh. Honestly, hats off, man. Hats off to anybody that was driving a truck 2 hours and 14 minutes and was able to do it clean. I mean, I'm sure there was a couple incidents in there because Josh wasn't posting in the admin chat that we've broken a previous record for least amount of incidents, but a 2 hour 14-minute race with no cautions. Congrats, guys. Hats off.
And the trucks.
That's
Yeah.
epic.
And it wasn't like there was 5 cars out there. There were 20 trucks. Which is, it's not the hugest field we've had, but 20 trucks around the mile and a half. I think everybody knows Charlotte. It's the NASCAR's home track, air quotes, and yeah, it was a
Well,
lot of fun.
I mean, looking at it from the Cup side, we had right around 20 people. Well, no, I think we had like 16 people in the Cup Series race, or 17,
No,
and we still had
19, yeah,
cautions.
without clearance, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we still had cautions. So again, great job, truck guys. That's something to be proud of there. That's a long race. I'm sure anybody who drove in that race would tell you it's a little hard getting out of your sim rig after that. But
Yeah, I think
uh,
there were a couple of people complaining. I think, Jason Phillips was mad that he was not able to use the beer in his cup holder because he had his hands on the steering wheel the whole time.
he's probably hoping for a caution lap or two. He's
Exactly.
yeah, trying to get a couple sips in. I mean Jason, if you're listening, that is a pretty good thing to be upset about. I mean, I don't blame you at all. If I had a drink, I would want to drink that too. Yep, long race. I get you,
Yeah,
buddy. Um,
200
talking
laps.
talking to JT last night. He was one of the truck drivers that triple stinted, and I think he did it accidentally. I don't think he planned
Oh,
to. Yeah, I don't think he planned to triple stint his tires, and he actually regretted it. Any of you guys that ran in the truck series, if you want to just throw it in the YouTube chat, did you have a strategy going into it? Like, were you thinking, I'm going to double stint this? Oh man, Jason loves ovals. All it took was a 2 hour and 14-minute race. But were you guys going into this race like with a strategy? I'm gonna double stint these tires, or uh, I'm just gonna play it by ear. And if I feel the tires going away during my run, I'm going to throw tires on it. Like, what was the mindset there? So if you get a chance, just throw it in there in the chat.
it would be good to know. Yeah, and I heard from a lot of guys too that they didn't really have a strategy, or 200 laps is more than they could do in their head on the fly. They were still trying to just keep it on the track, keep the rubber on the asphalt side. But I mean, we still saw 3 wide racing. It's not like they were just single file lollygagging around. I mean, Robert um, Sanders put pressure on everybody. Nick Aslin and Dylan Fox were in the front for the first majority of the race. And there was no give. It was all take, and side by side for multiple laps. It seems like it almost took 2 laps to complete a pass, um, whether you were on the outside or the inside. And it really was just about getting it just right, or getting the slipstream, or sometimes there was bump drafts. It was awesome racing. And Trevor Mack and I had the call. Trevor made some really good calls and heads up thinking that kind of brought a different aspect mindset for me. So I learned a lot from Trevor Mack. Listening to him and his experience in the truck series was really cool. It was a great broadcast.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going back and forth here with Jason. Okay, 30. So they were able to get 30 laps of fuel out of a tank. Because I seen Scamia post in there that he wanted to have tires for the last 2 stints. So that means the last 60 laps he needed to set a tire. I think they had 5 sets total, 4 in the pits, 1 on the truck. So yeah, that's he had to have been babying those tires for a few stints. Mike in that case, because that I don't know, man. That's a long way to stretch them tires.
Well, you think you would go a lap down? Okay, no big deal. Go a lap down early. Surely I'll get a lucky dog. It never happened. So he
Oh
had to get
yeah.
back on the lead lap on merit.
Yeah, that's the rough part there. Not having the lucky dog come out. But regardless, again, we can't say it enough. It's a great job. Great job to all you truck drivers. Jason, Mike, I know you guys are in the chat. Hats off to you guys. Uh, it's hard. It's hard to run a clean race. All you guys out there at the same time, especially a long race, lapses in judgment. I mean, you get going in the same circle. If you get to the point where you start, I don't know, not really paying as much attention, but everybody kind of kept it together, kept the wheels on the track, and didn't get a caution. Don't worry, Jason, you didn't miss the cup recap just yet, so it's all good. He's probably like, all right, I'm out. I'm tuning out, guys. But
No,
now,
Jason ran good in the trucks. I don't know if we skip into the
oh,
finishing
sorry,
result.
Jason Huffman.
Oh yeah,
Just joined the chat. Yeah, we haven't got the cup yet, Huffman. You can listen for a little bit, but go ahead, buddy.
no, I was
James.
just saying. I was just gonna say it was awesome racing, man. Can't say enough good stuff about it. My livery of the week, the red, white, and blue patriotic theme. My favorite was George Harris in the Blue Angels truck. I'm not sure if you caught a glimpse of it. He may have posted it in screenshots or the showroom. So if you get a chance to see it, it's worth a look. If you're a Blue
Yeah,
Angels fan.
I'll have to pop in there and take a gander at it. But congrats goes out to Nick Aslin, man, overcoming the long race and pulling out a win. Good job to him. Say that's an accomplishment in my opinion, especially the long race it is.
Michael Zamia and Jason Phillips there at the end were having a great race. It went back and forth all the way up to the last couple of laps. I think just barely over a second by the time the finish came around. And as we mentioned in the road series, Justin Taylor comes home fourth, just outside the podium. Justin is one of those guys that Taylor is one of those guys that saved the tires for the very last stint. So, and he came from was like 23, 24 seconds back, almost a lap, and he was the only one that had tires and made it all the way up to fourth. He was coming through the
Wow.
field. There was a couple of the guys, I think fifth and fourth, or fifth and sixth, were kind of battling each other, and Justin Taylor took a little longer to get through those guys because, of course, he wants to do it clean. You got two trucks too wide in front of you for 3 laps, and you only got 4 laps to make it up to the end of the race. So that held him up a little bit, but it was really just an amazing, awesome race.
Yeah, for sure. Again, congrats, Jason Phillips. coming over from the Road Series. Last season was his introductory season into our Truck Series oval in the league. Um, he was my Rookie of the Year, self-appointed, and bringing home a top three there, man. Good job, especially at a long race like that. So you've come a long way since starting in our truck league. So pat yourself on the back, bud. That's a good finish. But we'll go ahead again. Congrats, Nick, on the win, and we'll go ahead and move on to the Cup Series size. Jamie, you ready?
Oh man, I'm ready if you're ready.
As ready as we'll
Action,
ever be.
nonstop action, man. The Cup Series again had 20 cars. Red, white, and blue theme. Congrats to everybody that showed up in the red, white, and blue. 3 hours and 15 minutes was the total for 400 laps. Um, Longest race of the season. I enjoyed it. Shout out to Michael Harris for running it with me. Um, I think, well, I was really happy to see Jason Nuffin. I'm not just saying that because he's listening in, but the number 4 had a great qualifying spot and ran the first 3/4 of that race. Like he was in it for the win. And I really don't pull for anybody, but Jason is overdue for another win.
He
Andy, you were in this race. We can talk. We can make fun of Jason a little more about how long it's been since he's had a good run.
No, I was gonna say he had a fast car last night. I can't quite remember exactly what happened towards the end of the race. I think I was a little too far behind to actually see it, but unfortunate if he did get caught up in something. I know I seen him disconnect at one point, but super unfortunate if he did get caught up in something because he had a fast car. So that's good for him. I know at some point, in our past seasons, like he's had slumps, but this has actually been a pretty consistent year for the most part, points wise for him. But
Yeah.
overall, man, for me coming back and this is my second race this season, it being the 3 hour long race. Oh man, I wish I would have got some more practice in and got some more seat time. My butt was killing me afterwards.
Oh yeah. Not just yours. Even the broadcaster's butt was hurting for a little while. But yeah, congrats to Michael Samia for putting it on the pole. I'm not sure if that's his first pole of the season or not, but anyway, it was cool to see. And then Jason Huffman on the same row with Ty Williams, row 2. So they green flag dropped and it was on. We were racing in the Cup Series, um, and it's just side by side for the first 3 or 4 laps. Dylan Fox setting early purple laps and trying to carry it through.
Now there was
Yes.
oh yeah, and there was for the night being as long as it was, there was a couple tempers I see now on the track. Yeah, normally we don't see that in the oval side. Like we'll see somebody accidentally get hit and stuff, but there isn't much beyond that. But you could see some beating and banging out there, and it was normally two of the same people that kind of go and bump into each other, and uh, yeah, we kind of let it go last night. We kind of said, let's see, let's let these two kind of work it out. Unfortunately, it didn't escalate to the point where they actually wrecked each other, which was good to see.
And
Good to see.
and I'll be honest, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, uh, but at the same time, I was wrong. Thankfully, one of the guys ran out of gas, and no, um, I thought he was
Yeah.
slowing down to give his lap back or something like that, and then he got a black flag because that put him over the incident points. I think that was the part that kind of got some, excuse me, got the hiccups again. Um, that to be right on the edge of that 15X and then somebody come and bump draft you into turn 3 or wherever it was and put you over the incident points enough to get a drive through. Granted, it wasn't for the lead, but it wasn't even for a podium. But still, to try your best and end up with a drive through with 10 or 15, 20 laps to go, probably not the best taste in your mouth. But again, maturity sunk in, and we didn't have to break anybody up, so that's good.
Yeah, it's always a good one when the I don't have to crack open the rule book after the race and start levying penalties. But yeah, it was definitely one of the rare races where we did see, you know, tempers kind of prevail a little, uncool heads. Um, but just figure it like, let's see how it plays out. I mean, normally we'd have race control kind of step in and say, hey, you two don't escalate it. But
You didn't have to, so that says a lot
no,
about it. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's the nice thing.
so stop trying to create drama, Ant. Only I can do that. I was out there on the broadcast saying, "Oh no, he's gonna, he's gonna take him out. Oh, he's not gonna be happy. I hope he didn't get a black flag for saying something on a hot mic." And no, he just got a black flag for going over the incident points. Anyway, it's just part of it, trying to create drama, and we're not gonna do it. It was fun. It was
It was.
interesting. It could have gotten worse, but I'm glad it didn't. And it just tells you how passionate we are about our racing. Man. We're all in here to have fun, and we're doing it for 3 hours. You're liable to get some red mist in there. So it was all good.
Well, that's the thing though. I'm surprised there wasn't more. 3 hours is a long time to race, especially on oval. Where it's a little over a mile. Is it a mile and a half?
Mile and a half, yeah.
Yeah, so a mile and a half. So you're seeing cars a lot. Like it ain't like a road course where you pass them and then it's, I don't know, 10 minutes later in the session you're coming back up on them unless they're really slow. 10 minutes in the session you might be coming up on them, or 15, 20, heck, maybe 30 minutes later. Like this is you pass them and then it could be within the next
Well,
15, 20, 30 laps, depending on how much damage y'all did, you're going to be passing them again. So
and you're trying to calculate, 26 or 28 laps. How many did I do last time? Wait, what lap did I
oh
come on? 28 and
yeah,
plus
yeah,
13, carry the 2 minus the 1. What, you can't do it all. Can't
dude,
do it all at the same
the
time.
mental gymnastics that went on last night, trying to
Right.
figure out, okay, I have this many I have this many tires left, we have this many laps left. Okay, here's my strategy. I'm going to do every other set. I'm going to take tires. And I don't think Sean Cunningham's in the podcast chat at all. I'd like to know what his strategy was, because some of those pit stop times, I'm like, there's no way he's taking 4 tires right now. No way. And it was basically every pit stop. It was like a 10 to 12 second pit stop. And it's like, what in the world's he doing? But yeah, and you're doing these mental gymnastics where you're trying to pass, like Mike Scamilla said, you're trying to pass the same guy for 20 laps.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on, man, especially in a 3-hour race. So uh we took our hats off to the truck drivers. I'm going to take my hat off to you cup guys. Well, I participate in it too, but that's that's some tough racing we did last
I'll take
night. That's
I'll take
tough.
my hat off to you. I'll take my hat off to you, Ant. Especially for rocking that cool down lap paint. Got some red, white, and blue in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was happy to
Oh,
represent the paint. And honestly, a top 3 for me was not what I expected going into it. Like I was expecting hopefully a top, like I say here on the podcast, top 10, top 5. I'm happy, but the way that strategy worked out towards the end. Being able to undercut a couple people worked out just fine, and it was pleasantly surprising.
I don't think anybody had you in the top 3 yet. And
No, I wouldn't blame him in all honesty. Like this is my second race this season. Like
if
I'm
you're
still
on,
trying to figure this car out.
if you had him in your DraftKings lineup, you'd be rich, man. But
Exactly.
no, but that just goes to show, Ant, that you're always in there trying, digging, and you never know when tonight's going to be your night, man. And you had a great race, man. I was really happy for you. What do you think set set you up for a good run? Did you save tires at the beginning and use only double stint the tires at the end, or what was what was the trick?
Oh, dude, honestly, I think I changed strategies probably 6 times in the race. Like the first handful of pit cycles, like I was saving as much fuel as I could to try and knock out that last pit cycle. Like I was going to pit one less time than everybody else for fuel. Um, so that was my plan. And then I think Ty ended up catching up to me and he was putting the pressure on because he about lapped me and I had to kind of get out of fuel saving for a stint and had a lucky yellow. But then that threw the entire strategy of mine on its head. Like the plan was, okay, fuel save as much as I can. And then I couldn't because everybody's on the same fuel strategy. And then we had just a couple yellows in a row. Heck, I think I was involved in a yellow there too. Um, and I think at that point I wasn't 2 laps down yet either. I think we were halfway through the race and I went 2 laps down. Like there was a lot that happened in that race over a 3 hour span that thankfully it was a long race. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to claw myself back out of it. Like my strategy changed so much. And it got to the point where I think we were at 40 to go and I ended up cutting it in half. So I ran up to where it was 40 to go or 36 to go. I pitted in and half of whatever that lap number was, I pitted in again. And I didn't take tires on that last run. I just saved what I had so I could go all out those last 16 laps or so. So again, there's a lot going through your head when you're driving. And the fact we as drivers are able to do that and still maintain pace, still maintain like a clean run. Good job, guys.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked Sean Cunningham's paint. Michael Harris pointed it out to me that Sean Cunningham had the numbers of, I think, 6 or 8 cars above his front wheels. Um, I don't know if that was cars that he's got a target on or that he wants to beat really bad or what it was. I'll have to ask him about it next time. But Sean Cunningham with the rivets and the um, sharks shark's mouth, at the front.
Yeah,
Really
I'd like
cool.
to know why the 8 is crossed off in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know what the maybe it's like maybe those are cars he's hit over the seasons. I don't know.
Cars he spun out or no, um, all good.
Yeah. Yeah. But ultimately over the course of the race, Ty Williams had speed. I thought there for a minute Dustin was going to be able to on that last green flag run we had going before we had that caution to kind of level things out. Dustin had a pretty insurmountable lead, and then we got that caution and was able to reset the field. And Ty was able to put some moves out and take the lead and basically run it to the point where I think Dustin was down to 0.6 of a second, 0.8 of a second for the gap back to second place. So Ty Williams able to pull out another win. How do you know off the top of your head how many that is for the season for him?
I do not.
Well, I mean, it's more than one. So good job to you, Ty. That's a good race. A nice win on one of our crown jewel races. So each one of our series, the truck and cup series, has one more crown jewel race. Trucks, your guys' is Daytona. I believe that's about 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now. And cup, your guys is back at Darlington. So it'll be it'll be a fun race. I love Darlington, even though, I hit the wall at least 12 times. So at least 12 times, that means more. So it'll be a fun time. Everybody should have fun, and who knows, maybe we'll change up the crown jewels next season and try different tracks out, but sure it'll be an option to vote on. I got the points up there for the Cup Series, and boy, is that a tight points race. You seeing that there, James?
I am.
Justin
Oh,
Taylor 1 point behind.
John Cunningham.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Tight,
Uh,
very tight.
lots of racing left. 5 more races.
Yeah, for sure. 5 more races to go. This is what the points look like here. I'll read off the top 5 for you. You got Justin Taylor 1 point behind, John Cunningham, Trevor Mack, great run this season, 13 points behind the leader. Aaron Holroyd, 37 points behind the leader, and Jason Huffman again. Again. Hey, guy has some bad luck throughout the season, but dang it, man, top 5 right now. We'll see how everything goes with the points reset with 3 to go, but you're in the top 5, man. So
2 wins for Ty Williams in
all right,
7th place.
man, it
3
feels like
for
he's
Sean
had more.
Cunningham. I agree. 4
Sean
top 5.
Cunningham. I
Yep.
want to just quickly address this. Sean Cunningham has really this season come out of nowhere with the speed, man. He must be practicing his tail off when he can, because past seasons I don't remember him running up front near as much as what he has, and he's been putting up some really good fights. So Sean, if you hear this, great racing. I mean, you're fast, man, and keep it up. That's good on you, and congrats on the 3 wins. But yeah, that's about all I got for tonight, James. Is there anything you want to touch on before we
No, anything else you guys in the chat world want us to talk about? While we have a minute or 2 left, but I'm just super happy with all the racing that's going on. Like I said, I spent almost 6 hours uh, in the booth this weekend, and you guys probably spent just as much time in the rigs. So, not sure what more we could ask for, man. Living the dream.
Yeah. Yep. And I guess moving forward in the broadcast, make sure you call Jason Huffman, Ryan Blaney is his request. But all right, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
I dig it.
thank you guys for joining us here on the chat. Thanks. Yep. Short track next. Oh yeah, Cup and Truck. You guys are off this weekend, so recuperate from that long race. We'll be back. I know the Cup Series is going out to Bristol. Trucks, I'm not entirely sure where you guys are heading off to, but
I'm about to tell you. Dover.
oh, yeah, it's close enough to a short track.
So it's not this week, but next week we have we're gonna have a special broadcast for the Dover race. I'm not gonna tell you yet. I'll just do the broadcast tease first minute. But it's gonna be a really fun broadcast, including Trevor Mack as well. So keep eye out on the broadcast for the trucks on August 1st from Dover.
So it's good because he didn't tell me about it, so he doesn't want being spoiled.
Top secret. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, that's good,
And
man. Looking forward to it.
Bristol's gonna be nuts in the Cup car too. So let's do it.
Yep.
Enjoy your week off.
Yeah, everybody running in the road series tomorrow. Good luck to you. Have fun. We'll cover all the action next Monday. Oval guys, you guys enjoy your week off. Get some practice in for whatever tracks you guys are going to be running in your respective series. And we'll see everybody back here next Monday. Until then, stay safe, have fun, and enjoy your racing.
For all the Midwest Motorsports admins that make this league great, I'm James J. reminding you, stay in your lane.
And I approve of this message.